really quickly, but no, he's more focused on this battle right now.
And
sets up a cone as well.
And Dracone's, you know, from the Brazilian region, so there's just aggression. That's what they do. They'll go after the fights, and they want to get in your face. They don't care. They don't care what region you're from.
Absolutely loving the rhythm right now. He's really messing with the cadence of his axes, but he's going to get punished. And now he's the one who's on the defense right here as he backs up and takes a defensive stance to go ahead and heal.
Doesn't have any shield. No mini, Jay, who has 2 more remaining.
This is it. Bounce back. He's got all the mats now.
Yeah, he's got everything to work with. Sometimes you got to go, just farm up, pick up as much as you can. Or maybe even disengage from a fight. It may not be worth it. It's okay to disengage. Play the safe game. There's no reason that you got to get aggressive, get in their face. We understand that is what the region likes to do. In this instance, hey, you're playing for the long game.
I talked with Macwood and Calculator in the Players Lounge for a while. I asked him, what do you do if someone disengages? Do you respect a good disengagement? He says it depends, you know? If both you guys are in a weird situation, they'll give it up.
Reason for you to go for a fight that you're just not comfortable with. Crew, though, he's looking for a fight right now. Has his player playing a little defense, but he ends up getting tagged, and now it's going to be him on the back foot. Has to take a moment. Pop a mini.
That's the best case scenario for him because he still has full whites here. He did not lose normal health points. It was just his shield that was ripped off there.
2 quality players right now scrambling against one another. Pika get rid of the trees so that you can get above. You also get a little bit more resources out of this, perhaps. It's right front. Oh, man. Played around the corner there. And Pika, he just had that brief moment to move away. Saw him move ever so slightly down low. Just saw the tip of his head.
This is an intense battle. Pika versus Crew. Crew, a double qualified competitor here. Didn't play in the duos competition yesterday. And of the 2, he's the one who just goes in. He's not the IGL. Let's see how he can handle himself here. We're just playing solos now. And he's in the zone. He's found himself in the zone.
You're gonna get ticked for 1. Pretty far from it.
Doesn't want to play off that camera angle, but he's going to chuck a brilliant grenade right there. It's going to open up the box.
Now you're inside of the Storm Monster. What do? You're engaging in this fight. You're losing health little by little. What's the play now?
Got the med kit, but he couldn't connect.
The play was just to go for it. Pika gets the better. He's going to continue to take more health. Does have a launch pad though. Can fly back. He's really far from the safe zone.
I just gotta say, that was Crew's game to win. He managed to turn it around and get that right camera dominant angle back, and he could have had it at that moment, but Pika's grind positioning put him over the ramp, lost sight of him, let his guard down. He got punished for it.
Perspective and how he got the best with the burst essence. I do like to set myself up for failure sometimes, so I'll pick up. It won't really end that well for me, but for these players here, they know how to take advantage of each item in Fortnite. They're so good at really working with what's in front of them. Now the format, as we mentioned before, we're pretty far from it, okay? So when you get to 25th place, that's when the placement points start to tick, but each elimination is gonna give a crucial point. These have been some low point games. If you look at the online qualifiers wondering, man, we're seeing players get 60, 70, 80 points, even 100 in some instances. Those are the online qualifiers, a different format. These are the best players in the world going against one another. The gameplay is going to slow down just a little bit as they all fight for the position.
Yeah, this is definitely that time in the game when everyone kind of positions up and the heavy congestion begins, but King doesn't care about that because he's King. He's looking for a fight in arguably the worst zone to fight in, approaching zone 4 and 5 here.
He's a savage. He's a savage. He does not want anyone else to sit up upon that throne. It should only be him, but it's okay. Sometimes you don't have to be that thirsty. You can move away. That player popped that ramp in front of him. He gets out.
Look at this, look at that. That was so brilliant. He changes his angle there. He says, you know, I'm not going to use this side. I'm going to go around and start collapsing in on you, just losing or pushing that player out in uncomfortable ways. Master at finding angles here. He's just looking for the best way to break apart his opponent right now, and he's really playing mind games. Now, suddenly, this guy doesn't know what side he's safe on. He's losing all forms of real estate right here.
You know, King, he just constantly wants to be in your face. He's done it in each game that has happened. And he always seems to just know where everyone is. That is a trait that, you know, for a lot of the players that are up here, they don't have it. But in this South American region like this, where there have been obviously not a lot of players coming out of this for this tournament, I think King has put this region on the map without a doubt.
He is truly representing here. This King is tracking is phenomenal. He's still keeping track of Tuesday here. Now deciding he's going to replenish some materials and refortify all of this area. Sanctions to himself here. This is why he's in the running in the top 10 here. We saw him get taken out earlier before, but this is why he plays the high risk, high reward. If I'm being honest, that's how you take first place. You put it all out there and
go
hope
big or go home.
Everything goes in your favor, honestly.
Go big or go home. King, fight over on the mountain there. Tuzi's next to him, as well as Keenstar. And King, he's gone. He's flying over to the next target here.
He just doesn't stop. Into another box fight he goes. And now he's going to reposition here and set up for the prime push.
It's ridiculous.
Look, he's still going.
He does not care, people. King wants to jump into your box. It's that box now! Oh, what a beast! What a beast!
He's not here to play. Laser's going to go down.
Down.
We thought Bugga was one of the best box fighters. Hold on, it's time to do some reviews here, because King is putting himself on the map here.
All I want, Bala, if you're listening, I just want you to do a VOD review of King, okay?
Get us a VOD review, please.
We can just agree on that. Wild stuff, man. Gets the window, boom, right to the face, right to the kisser.
He's getting looking.
What's wild about that fight, too, is a lot of players would have just stayed stationary in that position. Storm was coming in.
They would have been content with being somewhere safe.
He had a target, and he just went right for it.
Incredible. Here we have Dubs now. Center zone. Still has a baller. Bucky still in the running here. Lefty also getting right next to Dubs. Also has a baller, so they're probably not going to get into too much of a battle, but who knows?
Maybe they'll be
Storm
baller
Surge
buddies.
is still a thing. Maybe they will be baller buddies.
Maybe. But you're right, though, about the Storm Surge. You really are, because if you're not taking damage, 0 eliminations for Leshy right now. How many fights has he actually gotten into? Someone's going to be above. There's Dubs. Minigun. That minigun goes right into your builds. Very powerful against structures.
Dubs, only with 2 eliminations, is actually the match leader, and that's because he's just pinging other players. Yes, just damage leader. And we just talked about Storm Surge. That's why you want to be proactive. You want to shoot at anything that moves. Because realistically, you don't know when you're going to find yourself in that precarious situation where you have to push someone like pretty much,
And it was,
without wanting to.
We were talking about this before we jumped on the cast. I think it was Zayt we were discussing. He was really good at not putting himself in a position, but still to get hurt, but still take shots. And Benji fishy against Storm. First elim for him there.
Saw that, put the trap above his head through the window edit, opens it up and hits him with the pump.
Now we're on his perspective. But as we were mentioning before, sometimes from a safe position, go for the shots. Go for the shots. Maybe you get a few takes. Damage perhaps. And King, he's taking fights outside as well.
King is still here to play, Golden.
2 eliminations. Shotgun. Great range on that item. Far away, though, from where the half-in, half-out circle is going to be. We're at Zone 5. This is when things start to get a little crazy. What does King have as an option here? Is he looking for people on the move and then punishing them? Maybe trying to get the community launch pad, perhaps, if someone throws that down.
It really wouldn't even surprise me if he's just looking for elimination to recap on materials right now, because he doesn't have enough to full tunnel across here. Knowing his playstyle, he's probably going to want to push here. And there it is. He actually found a launch pad, so his game awareness was at an all-time high here. And take a look here. Tfue, excellent replay right there with his first elims.
First point, as a matter of fact, against Kurtz. Tfue on the board. But King, what are the chances of that one? Yeah, the good old community launch pad right there. Great neighbors.
Paying attention to what's going on here. And Tfue make a big comeback for himself here.
A little concerned about that player who had edited out. And Tfue did have the mark on him. Guy though, you hate that one. And you just get focused on so much. You're out and about, trying your best to stay up in this game. And then everyone looks at you, and Tfue again, and he's doing damage, but he's not getting the eliminations. Other people are siphoning those away from him.
Prison arrow was just snatched from him. That's another point that unfortunately does not go his way here. He does have some shadow bombs though, so he will be able to make it to this next zone. He decides that he's close enough to try and tarp in, but now he becomes the target of the server because he's only building in wood here.
Both can take note of the structures being used. That will give you an indication of where they are currently. Players build around box metal, perhaps. Metal, the strongest structure. In case you're wondering, maybe you're watching for the first time, wondering what's going on here. Your Game 3 winner, Dubs. 2 eliminations, still has that baller, but it is a very weak baller. I mean, look at that thing, it is cracked up.
Not only that, he doesn't have health either. He is very, very weak here. Has tons of materials though. He just has to play for placement to continue to hold this lead that he has right now on the competition. King gets taken out by Mon Pro. Right there, and Bugga is in the running here as he uses Flexi, and the kill feed is lighting up right now as players are dropping, and we're approaching placement points finally here.
We're getting very close to it, Mon. Wire, top 9 remaining, 1 in front of Mongrel. Does he get the elim? He manages to just get away by the skin of his teeth. And now Mongrel gets gets up to the high ground, maybe using this. If you keep jumping on the wall, you won't go out of the shadow state. He gets up top, but there's no one going to be there. There's a person all the way above him, knocks the structure down, and the player does manage to catch himself and maintain the high ground positioning here. We have some great players still left in this game, but Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5, and that was on Nate. We're now down to the final moments. Top 5 monster.
He had to fully commit there. Those are the maps that he needed. He's still in the game here. He's going to go all the way for it, and that's a trade out with the 109 to the face here.
Huge elimination on Takamura. We're into a 1v1v1v1. Top 4 players now. Mongrel in the ultimate low ground, going up against a player. It's got to be Boga. The game 1 winner will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get picked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more builds, but the victory royale goes to the veteran Psalm, who manages to pick up a massive win.
Using the shockwaves in the final moments to snatch the high ground, Psalm claims a victory, but it's Mongrel who had a ton of eliminations and really was the ruining factor for so many of our top 10 competitors in that round right there.
Mongrel was running roughshod in the ultimate low ground, but it's Psalm, the vet. He has performed in so many competitions at a high level, and it's no surprise here. When Psalm gets that high ground, everyone needs to look out. He's so good at that. Mongrel has no builds left. He did the job he needed to do. Top 2. He got 2nd place and a bunch of eliminations, and shockwaves late. Small, and these players have the capability of being able to get into the top 10. 2 more games remain. Wonder who's going to take it all, but let's go down to the stage. We got Jordan standing by with our Game 4 winner, Psalm.
And a huge Game 4 win for Psalm. Now sitting at 2nd place in the standings. Feeling really, really good right now. We were just talking about that high ground take. You said, I didn't think that it was going to work, but real domination right there at the end. What was your thought process going up against such a stacked final 10 people? I mean, some of the players that were there are all capable of clutching this up.
After I got the high ground, I would just focus on playing safe, make sure I don't lose the high ground, make sure no one influences up to take my high ground. And then, I let everyone on the ground do their thing, and then I clean up.
The cleanup was real. Back to you, Golden Boy and Monster D-Face.
Always a pleasure to hear from Psalm, veteran in competitive Fortnite, and doing it once again. No shocker there. You take the risk, you make the bold play, and sometimes it pays off. In that instance, it definitely did. He's coming out quite pretty from there. I believe was the 2nd place currently in the standings. That was a funny game.
He's been in top 10 this whole time. Since the competition has begun, he's been chipping away at placement. And that last one was a huge victory for him. And that is exactly what he wanted and needed here to keep him relevant.
So many great moments in that game. And while we had a best seat in the house, there were some moments that maybe we didn't catch. And the good news is we got one of the best bodies in the game. Balla standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, GB. Yes, we have 2 games remaining. It looks like some game success early on. They're going to move forward.
This is, what a wild ride, right? We've been on 10 weeks up until this point. All these players from around the world. I love looking at that top 10 as well, man, because it truly is a great international game that we have here with Fortnite.
Yeah, you saw it unfold. Like, who would have thought King would be the man to show up today and be, like, honestly, the energy for the arena here, because he has had some of the wildest moments so far in his journey through this World Cup weekend.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's been a wild ride here, but that's going to do it for myself and Master D-Face, the Booty Club boys. There we go, brother. Always a pleasure to cast with you. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, Courage and Dr. Lupo take the stage one more time, and then we crown our Fortnite World Champion. We'll see you in just a few.
Hello, Fortnite fam. I am PookieFace _. I am joined here at the front of house with David, and we're going to talk a little bit about how all of these systems work, how we are bringing the Pro-Am, Creative Cup, and the World Cup this weekend. So, David, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining me here. What do all of these buttons do behind us? Tell me a little bit about what all of the technical things are here.
So basically this is controlling all of the lighting and all of the video for the entire show. We're pushing out all of the videos that you see on all the screens, any camera shots that go up there. And then we're also making sure that all the lights are at the right levels for player faces and everything.
So it's your job to just make everyone look great, is technically what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that you have some facts about the lights, the LEDs. Give me a little bit of some factoids about how all of this production pulls power and, you know, what goes into all of this.
Absolutely. There's about 1,200 lighting fixtures in the room currently. We have about 18 4K video outputs to go to all the big screens. We're running about 98 million pixels worth of video space, and it's taking about 2,000 amps of power, which is about enough to run about 15 homes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, introduce me to all of these working parts. But there are so many more things that go into all of this. So when you guys are out in the stands watching the World Cup this weekend, you have David to thank for everything.
Guys qualified. I'm just going to come back and just flex on literally the entire region.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that you can be so consistently good in one of the major regions. The best of the best aren't.
When these safe zones get so small, this becomes very, very important, as there can be opposing players on all sides. Here's an example of the most basic tunnel, the straight tunnel. From your base, you simply build straight towards your destination straight ahead of you, with the floor piece below your feet and above your head. This is the most basic and also dangerous version of the tunnel, since you're not covering horizontally. You're exposed from your sides. However, you save materials by doing this. Materials are supposed to cover your sides quickly. Then, if you need to go diagonally to get where you need to go, you'll often see players do the diagonal tunnel. At its most basic, it's very similar. You're just changing directions as you go. Once left, once right. It's very useful because sometimes you encounter enemies that you want to get away from on the road to the Victory Royale, or the next safe zone in the diagonal direction. So just change directions and move, but make sure to stay safe from the storm. Now we talked about how you're exposed from your sides. In both versions, you can add walls to your side, or both left and right, or even in front as well. This gets really hard really fast, and this is why it's so impressive that not only are these high-level players tunneling so fast without error, but at the same time going for crazy plays on unsuspecting opponents to rack up elimination points as well as points. It's a lot to take in, and oftentimes they do things so fast they can only achieve it. Watching players like Seek, Fizzle, Mongrel, Benji, all the players playing these games up on my own, away from their tunnels can be jaw-dropping. So there you have it. One of the most important skills in competitive Fortnite. It's simple in its core, but at the high pace of these congested endgames, it gets complicated. That means you need to practice, and make sure to hop in creative mode and do justice. Practice it in the open on your own island, or use one of the many amazing pre-built training courses that creators have made. This is Ball TW, and we'll see you again.
My name is Turner, aka T2. I qualified from the North American East region.
This is not. Wait.
Trying to stake him in. Can you get him to drop it? No,
He does that angle!
he hits all of the shots.
The day I qualified, I was pretty hyped. I didn't even believe it was real at the time. I don't know. I was just kind of streaming, grinding, doing my own thing, and I tried my hardest and succeeded, I guess.
Landing all the way up top, drops him. 100. Oh, the shot literally reading my mind.
He's a special player. He has qualities that not a lot of young players have. So mature, so dedicated, very rare to see.
힘들어. 안녕하세요. 저의 이름은 김도환이고 플레이어 닉네임은 흐드제이입니다. 나이는 그리고 14살입니다.
He's disciplined.
Jay drops down.
He's focused.
That was an ambitious play.
He wants to push it.
What a charge through the box in there.
That's what he needs to do to become the best.
여기 간 다음에 제일 중요한 거는 이걸 타고 여기부터 먹어.
I'm Juno. I'm the coach for P1. I first met with He's the youngest player in our team.
저는 포트나이트 선수로서 1층에 있는 아파트에서 팀원들과 함께 구단에서 생활하고 있습니다. 놀거리가 가장 많고 저희 팀원은 가족 같고 가족보다 뭔가 좀 더 튼튼하고 좀 더 위인 그런 팀인 것 같습니다.
The little brother that everybody wants to take care of.
저는 일어나자마자 저는 일어나자마자 바로 옆방에 있는 연습실에서 포트나이트를 할 수 있다는 거에 대해서
His tempo is quite a bit faster than a lot of the other players.
Hood J runs on forward.
아무래도 건설이라든지 편집이라든지 그런 부분이 좀 재미있어서이기도 하고 제 목표를 달성할 수 있기 때문입니다. 저는 포트나이트 게임을 시작할 때 이기자라는 목적으로 시작합니다.
He wants to always be creative, always change up his playstyle and steal the tempo from his opponents.
좀 어떻게 되세요? 네, 걱정 안 하셔도 돼요. 제가 해드릴게요. 꼭 몸 관리 잘하시고 어디가 끝나면 바로 갈게요 집으로. 네. 세계 최고 플레이어가 되고 싶은 이유는 아무래도 부모님인 것 같습니다. 가끔씩 부모님이라는 생각이 가끔씩 들어서 그게 동기부여가 되지 않나 싶습니다.
Jay hasn't realized how talented he is just yet.
I am just so impressed with what I'm seeing here from Hood J.
He has that potential to become the greatest of all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. Millions watching across the world. On the biggest stage. Every single player out here, an absolute gamer tag. We've never seen anything like this.
Qualifying for the World Cup was a major step for me to actually help out my family. I'm so happy we made it. It's literally like a dream. I was freaking
Gentlemen, huge shout out to Mike Realm. Spinning over there, guys. Give it up for him. And now we are one step closer to crowning our first Fortnite World Champion in solos. History is about to be made here, folks. And now I want to ask everyone here in the arena, are you ready? Let's do it one more time. I'm going to ask you again. Are you ready? Let's send it over to your casters for the last two games, Courage and Dr. Lupo.
Over a year ago, the Fortnite World Cup was announced, and here today it culminates in the final two games of the solos competition. $30 million in prize money this weekend, and in 2 games, Dr. Lupo, Fortnite World Champion.
We've seen a ridiculous number of plays from everybody on the field. Yep. Even moments like King going out, literally the first eliminated win game immediately after slaying out in the lobby. We'd love to see gameplay like that. Very aggressive from a number of players that obviously a lot of us didn't even expect to show up on the board. You have to remember, though, every single player that has qualified for the solo finals here at the Fortnite World Cup in New York City is at the top of their game. 40 million people played through. This is what's left, the best of the best of the best.
We know the storylines continue throughout this lobby of the 100 best players in the world. We have 2 games left. Our standings, well, they're very close, and Sundown's going to update us on where they lock up.
Thank you so much. I'm so encouraged with only 2 matches left to decide who is the world champion solo player, who is the best of the best of the best. We're going to take a look at what the standings currently look like and what needs to happen. So, the first thing is going to be right away is the runaway train Kuga up top. 1 victory, leading the pack with 15 eliminations at 37 points, 8 points clear. But we talked about it a little bit yesterday and a lot during the qualifiers. What is a reasonable game to expect? We've seen a lot of the victory royales today actually coming from more passive players. They've been getting around 11 to 12 points apiece. We've been seeing high volume eliminations happening in the early and the mid game. But right now, looking at this board, Peter Pan sitting in 10th place right now is just off of the mark. He's 16 or 18 points off. With a reasonable game, he could challenge towards that. Let's take a look at the second page, because then from 10th to 20th, it is a 4-point difference. Mongrel, with a fantastic performance in the last game, pushes himself into contention, and this top 20 is the line where you will see an increase in that prize bonus. You want to be at minimum on this page when all is said and done. 2 matches are left. We have already seen world champions crowned in creative and duo. Who will be the ultimate victory royale and who will take home the title? We're going to throw it back inside and see the final 2 matches. Lupo, Courage, let's take it home.
Thank you, Sundown. The standings so close, all for the coveted trophy that you see on your screen. The title of Fortnite World Champion. 15 million just for the solos competition. 3 million for first. With 2 more games left, who do you think comes out on top?
I would love to see the 13-year-old from the South America King show up big. I mean, he's put on a fantastic show. You have to remember, just 1 slip up, 1 bad game, that's not enough to take out a lead. He very easily, a solid high Elan game, a top placement, doesn't even have to be a victory royale at this point. With how well he's played, he could make his way to the top with ease.
Can anyone catch Booga at the top of our leaderboards? The lobby is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the battle bus launches in 2, 1. Game 5 underway of the Fortnite World Cup Finals Solos competition. Can they catch Booga? His lead remains from the incredible shockwave plays earlier. All 100 players in the biggest day of their entire lives fighting for their big share of
last game saw him a last-minute clutch there. Took home a victory royale. We're going to watch his drop in here as well as everybody else near the top of this board. As we go into these later matches, folks, keep in mind we're going to try and keep an eye on those that are closest to contention, that world champion position. Very, very important to know that. Go to the board there. You see 4 of the 5 llamas in the very south edge of the map, starting at Salty all the way down to the east of Happy Hamlet. 1 more all the way to the top middle. Those getting picked up early are very, very important. A baller for Psalm already at the beginning of the game. It's like he may have been the only one to drop up here. And are you kidding me? A Jug, a proxy grenade launcher.
Sounds like sure. He's on the matches. Second place. The values so key for placement, has placed in the top 18 match in 4 games. That means he's gotten placement points in every single match so far, Dr. Lupo. It's a big reason why he finds himself in second place. To be that consistent in this lobby, absolutely insane.
Gotta break 25 to get those points.
Arcros Rux fighting out in Westworld. People do call it this desert town. Arkham has had a couple games where he's just basically got fried right off the start. Can he turn around right now? He was top 15 earlier. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Rux, who's gotten the better of him in these previous games, having to back on it for a moment as that airstrike did come down.
Don't count him out just yet, though. This drop, honestly, one of the loot heaviest in the game. You have a lot of materials as well. A player like this gets in good position, maybe even takes out Rux, doesn't have to fight anybody else down here. He can climb the way out.
9 grenades in Rux's inventory. If he could somehow bait Arkham into a bad spot and use those to his advantage, it could be the thing that swings the tide in this battle. Hasn't thrown the Chug Splashes. Yeah, I was going to say, wondering when he was going to begin to throw them, but there they are. Chug Splash is down. Zero limbs still, as you'd expect. It's still a lead round from where Arkham could be.
Maybe the hope to save those. We didn't have to necessarily use them just yet. Big anticipation of combat before you know it, or at least the chance of it. I'm gonna throw those down real quick. 40 HP shield. These two just kind of at a stalemate at the edge of the map, waiting to see if there's an opportunity to make a play. They are outside the safe zone quite a bit. At some point, the zip lines or even the quad that spawns here might be the key to getting all the way into the safe zone soon. Grenades going out, but beamed. Rux takes quite a bit of aggression, begins to build up, and he's going to try and take the high ground. Shots from Rux, no contact just yet. Got to do some damage before you know it. Only 96 HP is not going to necessarily be enough against a player with accuracy like Arkham.
But he does have the combat shotgun, which is the ultimate tool that's early in the game. Rux still at 96 health, has those grenades in his back pocket. Hasn't thrown anymore yet. 15 builds still remaining. A very intense fight for these two. The shot comes through. Down to just 41 HP. Rux versus Arkham. Who can come out on top? Rux still with high ground. Arkham down below. Will he begin to throw these grenades? It doesn't appear so. Only 6 builds left. And remember, with only 2 games remaining in the competition today, this could spell disaster for their final performance. Arkham popping 1 shield. Definitely has a major health advantage, but still, height can make all the difference as he has the combat shotgun, but looks like for now, he's just back on.
I was anticipating if Rux had made a tag, if he gotten damage on Arkham down at the bottom of that building, I would have expected a push, 100%. A chance to pick up the 50 HP or shield because of Siphon. No damage dealt there, so Rux decides to opt his way out. King, one of our high Elin players, 35 HP, gonna try and get that med kit off, but he can't quite. Time to fight it out. A little bit of a build battle and see who can take ownership of the walls. King building up and layering yet again.
Oh my goodness.
The shockwave. He's actually going for it. Are you kidding me? Nezzy goes down, and King back up to 85 HP. What a play.
On the World Cup stage.
Yeah, the kid.
He just shockwaved to the sky and tried to hip fire hand cannon his opponent.
With 35 HP.
Are you kidding me? With 35 health? Talk about confidence. It's such an insane play that it catches the opponent off guard. Stompy trying to push on in. I believe this is Dubs on the other side of the wall. Stompy gets the wall, gets the elim. Down goes Dubs. And also in the elimination feed, Aqua, our Fortnite world champion from yesterday, has eliminated Tfue.
Match 5 out of 6, 1 left. Those players, the 16 that have already been eliminated, they still have 1 game remaining. But our current leader on the standings, Booga, down in Lucky Landing, gonna make a rotation away. Avoid any damage. At this point, I think the most important thing is getting ahead of the game here as the storm is pressing on in. He's only against 1 other player down here at Lucky. So the opt to rotate out to the west towards the river, probably the best one in the situation. Doesn't want to get challenged. He's got a free rotation up now. Slip is right there. Without realizing it, too, he is relatively close to 2 llamas in the south edge of the map.
Wonderful spot, either of them, one on his left, one on his right. I doubt he will since he's going through the low ground, but Booga, so far, Ben, 3 out of the 4 games has been fantastic performances. He had one where he dropped off early. Remember, he, was eliminated within the first 10 players in the game, but still holding his lead because of how well he's performed. show some aggression there for a moment, but decides, nope, we're going to fall on back. Don't want to take this 1v1 out in the open. Would rather go continue to loot on up, earn more materials, because, hey, 45 builds, you think, oh, that's a lot, but like this, and well, he fell back. He's able to get something on that shot.
About that, clicks in the feed, picking up an elimination on Nate. Down to 81 players remaining as this first 2 seconds left before that ends.
And this is the first zone, very central on the map. No super drastic rotations need to come on through. Here's a replay from earlier on of how Aqua challenged and eliminated Tfue. Tfue goes for the storm, Aqua gets the floor, and Tfue stands no chance, can't even fire on the shot. Tfue, you know, he has not had the day he's wanted. One of the biggest names in competitive Fortnite, one of the winningest players of all time, getting shut down here at the Fortnite World Cup Summer Final.
I would say multiple regions from the entire world all play within the same lobby, the same setups. It's all on here, so it's a good scenario for everybody. You have younger players that have never had player experience. Nerves can potentially play into it. That's pushing the box, gets inside, and the elimination. Romance goes down here in the open.
And I like that a lot from Luxury, right? He's already done a lot of damage. He also does 23 more white damage, HP damage to realize, wait, I have a major health advantage as Booga begins to dance on the main stage, but he pushes on in, forces the play, and says, you know what, if you have a trap, I'm still going to survive through it. You're so little HP that I know I'll eliminate you, even if I take 150 damage per trap. Booga, I mean, I guess this is kind of the mindset he has right now. I'm in first. I've got shadow bombs, I've got a launch pad, I've got everything I need. Banny, if you want to play this game, bro, you can play this game, but Booga dances, and his opponent says, no thank you. No dance battle for me today, I'll back on up.
It's enough to pressure him to rotate.
Imagine
away.
dancing and scaring away your opponent. That's when you know you're good at the game.
Whenever you dance, you scare me away too, Jack.
come this way, they're going to be floating right at us. If the whole lobby shoots at them, one of us is bound to get them. We're all going to get damage tags, and when the Storm Surge just popped up, everyone fiending for a little bit of damage to keep them above that threshold. Thankfully for the players in the lobby, only 2 more people need to drop before Storm Surge goes away, so don't really get to come into play too much.
All I can imagine in a situation like that right now is from the Pro-Am, Tim the Tatman getting shot at from multiple sides. And,
yep.
It's just...
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
You were one of them, I think.
Yeah, no, my teammate Sean eliminated him. Tim, we beat Tim the Tatman on land. As we take a look at the players stacked up all on the west side of the zone. People at home don't know that we were literally looking at Tim as we say that, which makes it better. So, launch pad used by Boozer right away. 2 launch pads with all this other movement. He just needs to survive this movement. And guess what? This is a zone on the high ground. It's directly on this mountain zone. For pretty early on zone, it's going to get awkward right away. Booga has made it in, but has taken a lot of damage. Will use some minis to get back up to 150. Has made it to the zone. Benji Fishy just below, who's currently top 13 in this game.
A little bit of a high ground advantage. Just going to look back. Booga's going to build his way up. See if he can... Take even more shots at Shadow Bomb, and he still has 3 more, so this rotation better be a good one. Got a chance to get ahead of him.
He knows how close he is to placement points, and he's got such a lead right now that unless someone has a monster performance, if he just gets placement points, makes it to the top 25 again, with just 2 games left, that could be really all he needs to secure this Fortnite World Championship. And he got the zone. The zone's going back his way, but Booga goes to in and out, and there's a shotgun waiting for him. Down to under 50 HP, frantically trying to pop these minis. The spray coming on through. Can our leader hang on to placement points? Storm Surge activated on some of the remaining players. Booga peeks out again for a shot. Not going to connect yet. 32 players left. Shadow Bomb being used. Can Booga make it to the top 25? 3 more points can be the difference between making it as our #1 player today or second place. Booga's still bouncing up. 30 players left. Just so frantically looking around for potential victims.
You'll notice as soon as they're box to box, right next to another player, players like Booga will opt to build straight up. 1 more, 26 remaining. If 1 more goes down, he's going to pick up placement points. Keep an eye on the feed just to see only 1 elimination remains. There it is, 25. So he's already into the placement points now. It's going to push him even higher on the leaderboard. Everybody left picks those points up too, but as we move, players starting to drop left and right. Sky still sitting on a baller, as well as Fatch. Pika with the ultimate high ground. Abuga right in the middle, right in the thick of it. Look on the outside. That's a very smart play. In that moment, you have a baller flying up. You don't want those players to hold on to those. Taking the shots to break it out. Maybe force an engagement.
Top 15
now.
Out of builds, no movement items. Made it to top 15. For me, this is already a fantastic game for Booga. Got placement points. Another elimination. How about a second? Booga, what are you doing? 2 elims come in. He's back up to near full HP, and he's in the top 10, and he's got all the materials he can ever need. Booga, how are you making this happen? From no mats and no movement. One player nearby. Booga at 3 elims, still ahead of the zone. He can absolutely win this game, Dr. Lupo. 2 away from more placement points.
Opts to drop the extra weapons in his inventory. A gold AR, the green pump, 6 minis and a campfire. 42 builds remaining, and he's just looking. 5 players left. He is sitting in one of the best spots I think he could have possibly imagined. Creo picking up an elimination. He is he's sandwiched between Pika, Pisa's, Creo on the ultimate low ground. He's looking any chance to pop through when a player is not looking to get a shot in might be enough.
Still has Matt. Still has Matt, player below. Booga just staying ahead of this. Has only taken 1 score pick so far. Player up top fighting, player down low fighting. Can Booga make the impossible happen? Dodges the trap as well. Taking a little bit of storm damage. Booga's got to make it on in. 1 build left, drops on in Booga. No! But either way,
it's all good.
He's done what he needs to do. He knows how important that game is. Now we're in our top 3. Pika up top. Following him earlier on today. Pika all the way down low.
0 builds in Pika's inventory. It's going to be tough. He's going to have to drop in and go for a fight. Cannot connect. Pisus finds that elimination. Creo gets the final one in game 5. Goes to Creo.
I don't think he can believe it. I don't know if anyone caught it at home, but what he does right there is Flint knocks the opponent, hits him for that body damage, and then shoots him into the zone. Great game for Creo right there, and you see repping his team. Woo! Clutching on up in the end. Here it is, the final moments. The zone closing. A fully closed zone. Creo's got to build on up. You see, health advantage was to Pisus. Pisus would win that game, but a full damage Flint knock connects and swings the tide in his favor. Here it is one more time. Boom! Right to the chest, sends him into the zone. And wins the game. Done from Creo as he takes game 5, the victory royale, 10 points plus his eliminations.
Huge game there, and Jack, we still have one more.
We do. We still have one more game here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. I don't see any way that Booga's fallen out of first with that performance. He absolutely not take a look at our standings, but Booga may just be in a position where all he needs to do is find 1 or 2 points and
there it is.
My
1 or 2, are you kidding me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Booga sits atop his throne, far and away in first place. He is 1 game from $3 million. The most eliminations, tied for the most victory royales, by far the most points. Booga has put on a show and is nearing the title of Fortnite World Champion.
Here's a look at the remainder of your top 20 there. 17 points. That's what you need to break into the top 20, Jack.
Yep.
But even then, 30 points away from first place.
You need a 20-plus elim game with a victory royale and 0 for Booga. Good luck, have fun, but we do have Jordan Fisher on the floor, one of our members of that last game.
Playing health right there at the very end in such a high-caliber game. Again, another stacked lobby right here at the end. Yo, hoping for some lucky health ticks in your favor, and that happened. Thank God for the best reaction for the wins so far today, in my opinion. Where's your headspace at going into this last game?
Right now, I'm on 3rd. I just need to clutch up, make sure that I don't make any dumb plays. I just keep calm and keep how I've been playing.
Well, it's great work. Fantastic job. Great victory royale. Back up to you guys.
Great to hear from Creo right there as it takes game number 5, the nerves in those final moments. You saw the celebration. I think he even almost couldn't believe how it all ended on up. But victory royale, you know the difference between 21st and 20th is over $60,000. And a win like that, with how close the standings are, could make the difference between earning $50,000, which is still great, but $112,000, which is to follow. But we're not quite ready for Game 6 yet. We do have Balla over on Unreal Island.
Guys, I do have that. What a every single game, almost placing consistently in the points and finding himself some eliminations as well. Only falling in that second game early on. We're going to take a look at some of the eliminations that led him to a top 5 finish here. Bugha, first off, breaking the baller on the side of zone, making sure that he knows exactly who's moving in. Why is he moving in with the baller inside of the zone, inside of the center? And then as well, getting an elimination here onto Bugha. Absolutely amazing job by Bugha there. He actually got into top 5. So an amazing finish. He's got 2 points from that, plus all the other performances, other placements in that match. We've got only 1 match remaining. Just like you guys said, it has to be a big one for somebody to overtake Bugha at this point. So Lupo, Courage, please close us out.
Thank you, Balla. As you know, so much on the line here this weekend of the Fortnite World Cup, but it is not the only thing that people are excited about with Fortnite right now, Dr. Lupo. There's always so much going on, and I'm sure a lot of people in this sold-out arena know this week it's time for a new season. And indeed, you guys want to see the first game for the new season of Fortnite? I have not seen this before. Oh! All that Epic told us is think back. August 1st, 2019, the next season of Fortnite. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is, Dr. Lupo?
Media in the third, I bet, is going nuts right now. Jack, Dusty Depot.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys excited for the next Fortnite season? August 1st, all will be revealed. And my God, I got the chills right now. That's the first time we saw that. They didn't show us anything.
It is.
Oh my goodness, you see how excited everyone is. And we are moments away from the final game. Everything that's happened. You see the leaderboards, you see how far it is. You're Bugha, you're up by so much. What's the rest of the lobby thinking right now?
It might at this point be a battle for second place, Jack. Such a lead right now. Bugha showing why he feels as though he deserves world champion. And at this point, I mean, you can't really blame him. He's playing out of his mind, playing incredibly intelligently. Positioning is key, and he's going for placement every single time. He's showing why he's on top of the leaderboard.
I can't believe he is so far and away the best. It has been something that I think a lot of people expected him to do well, but this well, anyone to perform this well, be this far ahead, unbelievable in a stacked lobby like this. Folks, use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Tell us your thoughts on the teaser we just saw, on what you're expecting from these final games, on your thoughts overall on the World Cup. It has been such a blast to be at this point. I did not believe we rode from where we started to here. These online qualifiers, everyone coming on in, the big names, the teams getting involved. Fortnite competitive is at a fantastic point, and with the millions watching online, I think it's a testament to how well it's doing.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. You see a look down at the players getting ready for the final match of the day. 6 games total, the end of this next and final match. We will find out who the Fortnite World Champion in the solos competition is. If you're online, make sure you give some shout outs to those that you think can climb the board. It is still anybody's game. We've seen crazy comebacks before, and it would not surprise me to see it again. Jack, going into this last match.
Yes.
The nerves for some of these players probably at an all-time high.
Yes.
You have to realize there's going to be more after this, though.
Oh,
there's
for sure.
got to be more after this, Jack.
This is not the end by any means. Yes, it's the biggest event in Fortnite competitive history, but there is still a bright future for this game. The new season coming out, more and more to be announced, I'm sure, very, very soon. All I know is the players are getting loaded on up and ready. You see them all looking around. What an experience this must be for all of them, their families in attendance. So many people here I've met this weekend have been. It's their first ever gaming event. You know, not a lot happens in the Northeast because of, well, quite frank, how expensive it is to run events in this area of the country. But Epic do it, and they did it in style. What a fantastic venue. The Marshmallow performance early, outside and the fan events too. It's been so cool, and I've been a part of so many competitive gaming events up to this point. This might be my favorite. I'm saying it right now.
It's touching, Jack. I appreciate that.
It is. I mean, it might just be, and that's all I know. I keep looking around, seeing everyone just excited, flowing back on in after the bathroom breaks, waiting for this last game. We appreciate your patience as we just get the lobby all set up. Want to make sure everything's all set and good to go. Remember, after this ends, if you're in the venue, don't just rush on out to get home and go back outside of the fan experience. We're going to crown our champion. We're going to crown our world champion. You want to be here for that big moment. Congratulate them. Celebrate the achievement. The trophy. How are they going to get that trophy home to the players? Because
Jack, I'll give you $20 if you charge down there and grab that thing right now.
I almost threw the headset down. I almost threw the headset down, and I thought, you know what? If I don't do that, my career is much more worth it, I believe. Again, you know, look at these lobbies. We played on these setups the other day. You know, you can't really creative. You can just sit there. So you're looking at the leaderboards, and we're used to in-game tournaments, right, where you can go and see the prize pool and see how the split works. The solo and duos you see there on the screen, the solos, you know, competition is there. You click compete, and the prize pool pops up in-game at $3 million for first. And it, like, that's where it first set into me that we were actually at the World Cup final.
Yeah. When it's right there on the screen in front of you, it's real. Two of the fan favorites, Dubs and Mega, on your screen right now, and I gotta love that kid's hair.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have hair like that. There's Issa, who I know has quite the loyal following online. Some people were excited to see him perform this weekend. So much pressure for these guys. I look at the fans around the venue. Everyone excited for these games to continue. As I think the skins in the background of Chicken and Raptor were battling with the Thunder Six that provided some of our fans in the venue today. Creo again, our winner from that last game. Thoughts going through his head right now must be, I've got to rise this leaderboard. I've got to get as high as possible. Reverse, recently announced a member of TSM. Always seems like something's going on in Fortnite competitive. Now I think a lot of people wondering too, what's next to come, right? Is it more solos and duos? Is there going to be more of a focus on trios? I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. Do teams now switch up after seeing this performance? Do you think teams begin to switch up if they're going to play trios on who they should have on their squad?
One of the things I noticed watching the few trio tournaments that we've seen over the last couple weekends, teams really have kind of mixed who they typically play with. That being said, one of the things I love the most about watching those is that the groups, it's always changing. And I think that exemplifies just how connected the competitive community really is. A lot of these players, they're all friends. We see Skeptic holding up the L to the camera, which is very funny, and and people doing emotes on each other after elimination in game. But at the end of the day, there's really kind of no bad blood between anybody because they all recognize they're all here for the same thing. It's a competition. On top of that, it probably doesn't hurt that they all take home $50,000 at a minimum, right? Every single player. So, that definitely can't hurt. But real quick, before we move on, Jack, I just want to ask, did you ever think that any of these players, the list of names, do you think we'd see these players at this event? I mean, we've watched them grow and change over 10 weeks of qualifiers. We saw people kind of rise up out of nowhere sometimes. And the other side of that, we have players like Tfue, who've been well known for forever. It's amazing to see the list.
No, for sure. There's players that I think a lot of people expected to make it in, but didn't. All I know is there's been one player who's dominated so far today. It's Booga, and Sundown is over on Unreal Island with a breakdown of how he made it to this point.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And with one match left in the Fortnite World Cup final, one match to put everything on the line, the Sentinels player, Booga, has dominated the entire competition. He said from the very beginning, I don't care what's going on. I'm going to do me. I'm going to challenge every single player. I'm going to play aggressively. I'm going to look to get in their faces, get in the end game. The player who qualified from the start made a name for himself after the host and continuing running through. Let's take a look into some of his eliminations and how he's been able to build himself a 15-point lead over the best of the best in the world, and he's doing it by intelligent rotation, getting to the far side of the zone, and then hitting his shots. Kid, Bugga says, bring the rest of the lobby on. I'm looking to go aggressive. We talked about King and his shoot-first mentality, but the difference between King and Bugga is Bugga chooses his spots when to go. He knows when he needs to hold off, when he needs to be safe for a second, and when he can go aggressive. You see him stall just for a minute there against Creo, who's pushing in to the top 3, and he is able to execute the game plan, come up with the victory royale, and keep pushing forward. Now again, you know, right now, he has 0 elims, able to pick up one right there, but he's chasing back into the storm. He's not looking to run forward, he's looking to catch them afterward. And same thing, dropping down, picking up Kinzo, breaking the trap. And this one in particular, incredibly well done. With the infantry rifle, laying down the shots, able to pick that one up. And you know, the one thing I really like to see about Bugga afterward, every single time he hits those shots, real quick, he's just making sure he gets everything clean. No sweat going on him, no sweat indeed, because he is sweating out the rest of the lobby. See Bugga running at you. You need to be defensive or disengage, because he is not letting it go. He wants the top spot. He wants to be your wire-to-wire leader, and he wants to name himself the best Fortnite player in the world. One more match left. Lupo and Courage, take it away and close this out.
Great stuff, Sundown. Gotta tell a story of how our player in first place has made it this far. Again, we appreciate your patience as we just get a couple things sorted in the lobby, but I believe I've received word everything is set. It all comes down to this. Millions and millions played online. Only 200 qualified for the Fortnite World Cup Finals.
seconds remaining. The first circle starts to close in 50 seconds. He's hanging out after that player down below. We're going to see if they take shots here in a second. Kichev going to roll all the way down. Looks like no engagement going to happen here. Yarko, Sledwicki, two players that have faced off against each other a number of times. They go for the wall and, in fact, get it. Gets the angle inside and pushes on through. A solid aggressive play from Sledwicki to pick up his first elimination of Game 6.
Very clean, and that will end Yarko's Fortnite World Cup run. Solid performance earlier on where he stacks up with the rest of this lobby. When it's all said and done, reminder, this is our final game here tonight. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get it trending, just like yesterday, alongside the millions of people watching online. Sam, who was our player as well, near the top of the leaderboards. What could he do in this last game? Could he make the trek to try to catch up to Booga, who was 15 points ahead in first?
1v1. An angle down through a handful of edits here at Mega Mall. He's going to push around the side and try and make his way inside. Mall itself, Pika earned 12 of his total points just the last match, and I think that says a lot about what is possible. 11th place when we rolled into this game. Pika trying to find a way inside, pushing down through the outside. Does in fact get the wall replaced. Are you kidding me? Used the shockwave to get down the wall that is inside with it. Smack.
He basically called the bluff. He called the bluff. The guy was trying to break the wall to secure it for his own. Pika was like, okay, break the wall for me. I'll just replace it my own. He does just that, Pika. Full HP, 2 slurp juices, 6 minis, a very good assault rifle, the shotgun, but it looks like the aggression doesn't end here. The wall is simply broken. Here it's placed as well. And he can just continue to play these box fights. He used the shockwave to try to drop down his opponent again. Said it once. I'm surprised we've used that same tactic here so
100 HP, 100 shield. I do not blame him for being aggressive here. Knowing that players may be a little sparse in terms of loot, he's trying to track Keemstar on the outside, rotating around the edge of Mega Mall. These two players going to end up on top of each other before you know it. Oh my gosh. Floor loot.
Okay.
A heavy sniper rifle.
And another slurp. Okay.
Not in, does use those audio cues to try and track down the opponent underneath. Opts to back out of the fight for just a second. Get a different angle. One elimination using those skills. Gonna see if we can find a second player in the slip. Going for the knife. Oh, and he can't quite connect.
Imagine what would have happened in this arena if he hits that shot. He dabs after it. And he dabs after it. He's like, all right, this is mine. See you guys. That's Hood J, the only remaining player in the Mega Mall area. He gets, get the elimination, even if he's weak, he can pop a slurp, go grab another. Don't think that's going to happen yet. Shift our focus on the screen. More games on the bench. A couple of boxes of each other, maybe a fun break.
Slow top. Now the baller. Ball boom on your screen. Edges there. Laleo beat quite a bit. A ton of damage taken. Meanwhile, back at that small town in the southeast corner of the map. Banny, Arkram, back in a 1v1. Most likely, honestly, round 6 of these two facing off the beginning of these games. 73 players left. The Storm right on their backs. Things are going to start moving here in a middle battle, but these two decide to fight it out right now. He phased through the floor. Could have opted to go up. Misses the shot. A little bit of damage. At a 140, going to opt for a mini. Even just the 10 shield might be enough to save him from Arkram. We'll have to see here. Pressure with a stink. He's trying to find a top down and kind of lead the shots on what may or may not be a build out from Arkram. Right through it, Arkram down the campfire. And he's going to drop that on one corner in an effort to push Arkham out of the box. Unbelievably, honestly, what a shot from Arkham, the bottom there. A quick edit on the ceiling, shot comes through.
Health very similar between the two. Slight advantage to Arkham right now.
Have to imagine that almost every 1v1 between these two has played out so complexly. If we're watching this right now, I guarantee you this is not the first time we've seen it. What a shot, a quick cut and edit on the ramp.
It's cat and mouse. It's literally cat and mouse in this fight.
This is one of the most insane 1v1 things I've ever seen. 64 HP remaining. Bandy's gonna have to back all the way to the top, maybe the campfire down. Second gets dropped in, gonna have to wall against that. The ramp to save him. One chance for the minis, is gonna wall off, still back and forth between these two titans. The campfire goes down. As soon as that wall edit happens, the ramp inside just to prevent any push from the opponent. Arkham finding another angle might be the only option at this point. The campfire, though, is going to have dealt a lot of HP back to Baney. Shot through, can't quite connect. There we go, pressure up top, and gosh, the pyramid block. Finally, the Storm deciding it's time to play the fight out, and Baney goes down.
Hey, great fight, though, man.
That was
went
insane.
That went on for a full 2 minutes. I love that we got to keep our eyes on that, but moving across the map now, it's Pika. We were complimenting so much on how easily he can his boxes in Mega Mall, how he can navigate these areas, and it looks like that same exact pattern is continuing. It's Swexy, who's at a major health disadvantage, but as I say that, does hit a quick little shotgun shot that I think will push Pika away for a moment or make him reassess what he's doing. Maybe a misclick. It looked like he didn't really mean to do that.
Actually, we'll have to try and take some sort of aggressive stance soon. A minute on this Storm before it closes. He's not in the next safe zone. We're down to 68 players remaining. Inside of that 70 range. Starts to tick up.
No wall in place yet.
He's just trying every chance he can to take these walls. This is the
on the elimination feed. Cease goes down in the elimination feed. 63 players left. No Storm Surge in this one yet.
Bugha picking up an elimination. His first of this match. Just another point between him and second place.
Consistency so key, and Bugha has embodied that today. Only one bad game. The rest have been absolutely electric. He's just sat up with the high ground in the zone, waiting patiently for the lobby to drop on down. Snaky though, one box away from an opponent. 54 HP, needs to perfectly edit one of these walls and get a shot down range. You see his opponent not sitting still for any moment. He expects him to drop it, and that's exactly what happens. He's finding the patterns and how his opponent likes to play these box fights. With no healing and his opponent jumping back up, you got to think some shields will be replenished and Snaky will be at even more of a health disadvantage.
No shield Paco catches himself. He's going to hold the edit on this pyramid. He's looking for a chance to push Martin. If one arises, we'll have to see. Snazy's hope may be to catch him off guard. There we go. Here's the Shadow Bomb, going to rotate up and away. Use that redeploy and try and make his way into the safe zone. Only 54 HP. He's not quite safe yet, but now's the chance to look to the right. Get a couple shots, throw inside the box as he lands right next to him. The edit through, and Rogue Shark sets the trap and gets him. Tough play there. Clicks. Meanwhile, 1 elimination, 62 builds. Sit on 2 Shadow Bombs. See here, the very north edge. He's underneath the plateau of Dusty Divot. Reverse down there as well. Tfue on the edge. Astonish, Smeef, Zayt. So many players stacked up near each other. And oftentimes you do see players utilizing the already built structures for easy wall replaces. No surprise. Popped up next to him.
Inventory looks great, but he just doesn't have a lot of ammo.
Imagine he picks up 1 elim on someone who is can kind of fill those numbers up. It'd be a great spot for late game. 7 RPG, still very, very good. 6 players remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final competition here in the Fortnite World Cup. It literally all comes down to a million right after this game. The team that just made his 3rd live. Let's launch pads. Great loop. Down. He wants to make sure he makes those points, and there it comes. Launch pad. Right, this is one of the moments where you're just thinking that literally flying past the opponents on top of the second structure. Underneath. 86 builds, still has a lot along has a boogie just in case maybe a baller rolls fast close enough. Player directly out of it. Trying to get that away. Even in a clutch situation, opportunity for a free shotgun shot on someone that may be unsuspecting. The loadout here, look at this. 2 campfires, 10 redeploys, 2 shockwaves, 6 minis, but no meat.
Note with Bugha. When the Fortnite World Cup qualifier started, Bugha qualified in week 1 in NA in 1st place. From the moment the Fortnite World Cup started, he finished at the top of the North America region. And now in another spot again where it can happen, and he's just dancing up top. He knows really this is his to take unless someone has legitimately the best performance ever in the history of a Fortnite competitive game. Bugha should be our Fortnite World Champion. Tfue and Benji Fishy fighting on the bottom right of your screen. Sam, who's trying to contest and take that throne. Replay did get his first limb of this game, and you see the fist bump right there. That was Clicks who gets cut down.
This point, 51 players remaining. This lobby is going to get very, very tight. In this match, Sam was 2 points ahead of 3rd place. 15 points behind first.
Talk about a lead. We've just now been in this game. Parker goes down. Sam, 1 elimination. Can he close the gap? 15 behind Ben. What he needs for him? Still going to go down. He needs 5 more left and a victory royale, but no! Sam gets off the board. He's the same and has that
biding his time, looking for eliminations up above the rest, though. Booga.
Booga hasn't had to move in 5 minutes.
Nope.
He's had height. He hasn't had to move in 5 minutes. He's sitting so pretty. Here's that a limb that we missed when Som got taken out.
Are you kidding? Look at him laugh. Look at him absolutely laugh. Quick one tap on Storm on the move.
It's a gift. His birthday is that's about as free as it gets.
Best player with zone placement I think we've ever seen in a competitive Fortnite match. Sitting atop his tower, a castle of metal, a threat.
And he built it with metal earlier, and he just kind of hoped it would work out this way. It basically sums up the leaderboard. This is the leaderboard. Each is the game itself. Nobody on top, nobody nearby, no threats, nothing. Now with the zone moving and the 3-1 storming, this is where it picks up quick, folks. The final moments of the Fortnite World Cup. We're watching Booga bleed. Oh, imagine.
Picking up a pair in the feed there. Good eliminations there. 38 players remaining. Top 25 is when placement starts to come in, and Booga is looking for shots on everybody flying around. Still has that high ground advantage. Jesus and others looking at Benji Fishy moving up as well. Ballers still rotating in the low ground. Tifu making his way across. A lot of coming in. Only one team build remaining. A tough spot.
Can he survive? King with elimination.
Player count continuing to drop. Fizzle, Takamura, Zate picking up multiple eliminations. 30 players remaining. 29 to get closer and closer. Benji Fishy goes down. Tifu eliminated. In the box, Kurtz picks that one up.
That will end Tifu's Fortnite World Cup. Zate drops off high ground for the moment. Booga's still alive in this game at the bottom right of your screen. Still a max HP. He's made it in the top 25. At this point, it's basically a victory lap. Yeah, he's getting beamed out of the sky, but he doesn't care. He'll drop on in, pop some minis, take 6 limbs. The guy's an absolute brawler. The 13-year-old should be so proud of how he played today. Wall boom up top. Drew, the double qualified player as well. Booga now. Your Fortnite World Cup is over. Vivid's still alive in this game. It's with 4 limbs atop our leaderboard right now. Linza, who's still alive. Booga there as well. Has all the ammo in the world. Not a lot of materials. Let's see how he wins his way out of this one.
High ground challenge up top. Does in fact take it over. Meanwhile, Booga. Box fight. Forward slide. A little back and forth here. He's waiting to see if this will another elimination.
He's got materials. He's gonna trap the ball. Oh, the ball escapes. The absolute siege right now. Booga's still moving through, and at this point, it's a sign of respect. We've got to watch this man continue to dominate. A statement is being made. Dr. Lupo at the end of this game, he'll most likely be crowned the best Fortnite player in the world.
I've never seen anybody play in a competitive Fortnite match with a small face like this kid right now. He is absolutely dominating every single player he's run into thus far in the first round here. With a couple of edges. He's going to wall that off. The kid's
top 10. He's smiling. He knows it. He knows it.
Ridiculous.
9 players. Unrelenting is Booga. Hasn't since today started. There's all the remaining players. Running low on material. Still wants more. 4 limbs in this game. Set up for a moment. Booga still alive. Shots going down. Can't connect with that one. 1 build left. The final moments of Fortnite World Cup.
Gosh.
Bow down. Bow down to Booga.
Doesn't even matter. 4 players, 3 players remaining. It's a fight out for the victory royale in Game 6.
2 left.
1v1. Crew still in it. T-Chubb as well, back and forth. And it might come down to a heel-off. T-Chubb dropping down those campfires. We'll see here. Crew following it all the way. way in, and T-Chubb goes down. Through with the victory royale.
Through with 7 eliminations in the victory royale. The monster performance at the end of it. That could have just secured him hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even over $1 million by stop that game right there with how he does. But ladies and gentlemen, there's no way anyone beats him. He's Fortnite World Champion! Boom! 3 million richer. The biggest individual prize victory in competitive gaming history. He's watching online, and folks, he didn't narrowly win. He absolutely took the best Fortnite lobby in history and taught him a darn lesson.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your Fortnite World Champion solo winner.
There's his family looking up. Hey, get double chicken. Get the extra meat, do the whole thing. He's buying. I'm going to tell you right now. And there's the dance. I don't know what that is, but that's, I'm going to bet his dad if he's got Booga like that. And that's what it's all about. Booga hasn't moved, as we'll probably need security in the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up again for Booga, your new Fortnite World Champion. We have captured every single major Fortnite event. I have never seen a performance come close to that. So far and away, the winner that literally them backstage didn't even have to calculate it. It was done.
Immediate. Normally, folks, we do have to wait a minute or two, and they need to triple check. They went right to it. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Insane.
Out of the gate. The trophy presentation, by the way, is coming up very, very soon. Jack, Booga from game 1, a 19-point victory royale to start the entire thing all the way to the finish.
He nearly doubled.
Lord.
He nearly doubled second place.
59 points.
One of the most dominant performances in competitive gaming history. Second, congratulations to Son, who beats out Epic Whale by 1 point to earn $1.8 million. Epic Whale, Trio, King there as well. See Crew, Skype, Nate, Son, and Fetch. And on top, 20, Rux, T-Chub, Mongrel, Stompy, Dubs, Eagle, Bellow, Clicks, Peter Pan, and Commandment. $120,500 or more earned. But as always, congratulations to everyone who made it this far on the biggest stage of the Fortnite World Cup Finals.
Absolutely ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. From myself and Courage JD, the opportunity to cast the Fortnite World Cup could not have happened without you. But this is our show, Jack. We absolutely need to pass it off. If you would please, Golden Boy, take it away.
I got you covered, fellas. What an incredible ending that was. Welcome to the winner's circle. Your Fortnite World Champion, Booga! Ladies and gentlemen, history. $3 million in prizing. The greatest Fortnite player in the world, hands down. There is not even a question. And for all of us here in Arthur Ashe Stadium, we want to thank you all so much for joining us on this incredible journey. This has been the Fortnite World Cup Finals. This has been not only our event, not only his event, but your event as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the Battle Bus.
This is what it's all about. The Fortnite World Cup Finals ends right here. The biggest day of their entire lives. 100 players. The battle bus is loaded. It is time. Shots coming in. No elimination yet for the first game victory royale. Oh my gosh.
By that storm, someone's going to be above them.
He's too good.
An elimination onto Skype. He's still holding position. Dubs has the high ground, but he lands in front of him. And Dubs gets a victory royale. King wants to jump into your box. Fox now. Oh, what a beast. We have some great players still left in this game. But Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5. Going up against the player. It's going to be Fuga. The game 1 winner will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get kicked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more builds, but the victory royale goes to the veteran Som.
History is about to be made here.
He's smiling. He knows it. And he's
Oh! I almost got you, but I'm not really good with shooting those guns because they're like, blah, blah, so I couldn't get you, bro. Okay, let's do that again, bro. I like that one. But let's go to a different place because everybody keeps like, that's like right there. Bro, let's go. Hey! Oh! Hello? Hey, yo no voy, yo me, para te, pero no voy a ver, yo no te lo faltes, ay, yo no le voy a